Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Squared Circle Psychobabble. My name is Michael Valenti, and we got a lot to talk about here. There's so many things going on in the world of professional wrestling today, including Cain Velasquez debuting on WWE Smackdown and what the plans are for him and Brock Lesnar. AEW Dark is confirmed and will be on All Elite Wrestling's YouTube channel. We got some news from Minoru Suzuki and New Japan Pro Wrestling, and also some Hell in a Cell predictions. And before we get to all that, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell for notifications for the best conversations in AEW, WWE, NXT, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. And if you want to help support this channel, make sure you give us a super chat, ask us a question, and I will answer it for you before the end of the show. So all you got to do, there's a button for the super chat. If you're on your phone, it's on the bottom right corner. If you're on the computer, it's kind of midway through where the live chat is. Just click that. Any dollar amount will help support the Squared Circle Psychobabble. Now, first things first, folks. Cain Velasquez debuts on WWE SmackDown on the Fox premiere. This is pretty huge because first and foremost, Cain Velasquez, before showing up on SmackDown Friday night, he was actually wrestling in AAA. And for those that don't know, AAA, it is a Mexican promotion. They do Lucha Libre. He was actually in a match recently with Cody Rhodes in a 6-man tag match. AEW and AAA have a partnership. And you would think this would include talent sharing, which we have seen those in the past with the likes of Pentagon, Ray Phoenix. You know, so you would think Cain Velasquez is a name that Cody Rhodes and AEW would want. And they've said that they wanted him. But somehow Vince McMahon pulled out the checkbook with that new TV deal that he got from Fox and managed to secure Cain Velasquez. And this is huge, absolutely huge. This is a guy that, unlike Brock Lesnar is probably the most legitimate wrestler in WWE because of his experience with the UFC. Part of his experience with the UFC, though, is that at one point in his UFC career, Cain Velasquez defeated him and had a technical knockout. So this guy, I know he doesn't look as big or as muscular, or the physique isn't as good as Brock Lesnar's, but at the same time, you got to say, it's a guy that beat Brock Lesnar. So this is a guy who could legitimately beat him. And in wrestling, it makes sense to beat him. So I just don't see how you don't pull the trigger on this. And of course, this is a money-making thing. If you're Fox, you're trying to get as many different audiences as possible to get in the ratings. And so far, so good with the 3.9 million viewers on that first Fox episode. And we're going to touch a little bit about that as well, as there were some good things and some bad things that I think from that show. With the Cain Velasquez thing, like I said, it brings legitimacy. But now the question is, where do you go from here? Where's this Cain versus Brock Lesnar match going? According to Dave Meltzer, the rumor is either Crown Jewel or WrestleMania. If they go Crown Jewel, that is an absolute terrible mistake, in my opinion. Terrible mistake. The reason is, I understand Saudi Arabia puts a lot of money to put WWE into their stadiums and have these outdoor shows, but this is a match made for WrestleMania. WrestleMania is that kind of show where you can have celebrities and non-wrestlers perform, and it's there to draw tickets. It's there to draw subscriptions to the WWE network. So you can have it there, and it's not that big a deal. If you put it on this Saudi Arabia show, one, many people consider it a glorified house show because many people will not watch it, for whether it's because of your perception of it being a glorified house show or the fact that it is your political views on what they're doing in Saudi Arabia, whatever the case may be. That match cannot be at Saudi Arabia just because I don't think it will have as much, it won't be as big of a deal if it's in Saudi Arabia than it would if it's at WrestleMania. That's a made That's a made for main event at WrestleMania match. Now, the question is, should Brock Lesnar be the WWE Champion with this feud? Should they have saved this for Cain Velasquez running in and causing a disqualification and having Kofi Kingston retain the title? I saw on social media so much feedback, negative feedback about Kofi Kingston losing in 7 seconds. Do I have a problem with him losing in 7 seconds? Yes and no. I say yes because it's Brock Lesnar. He's 265 pounds. Kofi Kingston's what? 210, 215 pounds, and that's what he's announced at. If not, he's smaller. Brock Lesnar should be beating him in 7 seconds. That's just, if you're trying to think that Kofi Kingston should have had a shot in this match, and yes, we've seen the likes of Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles and even Seth Rollins go in there as smaller guys and at least give him a decent match, if not beat him. First off, you got to think first off, they only had 9 minutes left when that match started on television. And it's not like you have the overage like some people would think. Fox is very, very strict with their time slots. So I would say 9 minutes would have been fine. Even Dave Meltzer said the match could have gone like 6 or 7, and that would have been okay. I think everyone was shocked with the 3 seconds or 7 second match. So, but I think it was time to pull the trigger, put the belt on Brock. There's only one reason and one reason only Brock Lesnar became WWE Champion. Fox. Fox wants him as the champion because he thinks it's going to draw in ratings. And until it's proven otherwise, it's true. It is absolutely true. And now that he's got this match with Cain Velasquez in the works, now I'm seeing here in the live chat, of course, now my brother Ralph, who is a co-host on the channel, we couldn't get him on today because he's celebrating his marriage from yesterday. Congratulations, Ralph. He'll be in the live chat chatting with you guys as well. Donate to the super chat with your questions. We'll try to answer them for you. Back to what I was saying with Cain Velasquez. This is a money-made main event. As I said, without question, it's a money-made main event. So I think it's a good move. And of course, this is an absolute good move for the fact that AEW is not going to get him either. So props to that. Absolute props to that. Back to Kofi Kingston. It was a great run. 6 months as WWE Champion after 11 years as not being a champion, not being a top guy. Where does this go from here? Let us know in the live chat what you think of Kofi Kingston, where this goes from here. Does he go back in the tag team picture with the New Day? Do we get him just middling in the mid card? Is he buried for life? Or is this going to be similar to what happened between 2013 and 2014. And for those that don't remember or did not see it, that was when the Yes Movement started. That was when the Yes Movement started because it was at WrestleMania 28. 28? Yeah, I think it was 28, where Daniel Bryan opened that WrestleMania in a World Heavyweight Championship match against Sheamus, and Sheamus beat him in 19 seconds. And because of that, it eventually led to WrestleMania 30, where he became the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, winning twice and going there. So, by all accounts, this is maybe where they're going with Kofi Kingston. Let Brock do the Cain Velasquez story and then build Kofi back up to where he gets his comeback victory at a later point. Maybe that's where they're going. I don't know. Now, I'm seeing here, I think going back to my original statement with why they brought in Cain Velasquez for WWE and why Brock is the WWE champion now, someone said something along the lines of, this is why AEW signed Jack Swagger. Exactly. You got to have guys with some legitimacy to your promotion. And yes, Jack Swagger, Jake Hager, whatever you want to say about him, that was a good move for AEW to sign him. And for the most part, I think Jake Hager, Jack Swagger, whoever you want to call him, is going to be built and booked like AEW's Brock Lesnar. He will not be there all the time, but when he's there, he's going to be a dominant force. He's going to be one that is not going to take many losses. And when he does, it's going to be shock wins and shock losses. So I don't think he's going to be as big of a draw as Brock Lesnar, but you know, if he keeps winning in Bellator and maybe eventually going to UFC, who knows? That could definitely be a huge, huge move if Jake Hager, the more he succeeds in MMA, the more AEW succeeds with him as a professional wrestler. So, but speaking of AEW, let's move on to some other bit of news that we got over the weekend, and that is we will get a new show, which will be on the All Elite Wrestling YouTube channel. And speaking of YouTube channels, if you like this YouTube channel, support us, put a question in the live chat and donate to the super chat. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for the best conversations in AEW, WWE, NXT, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. So we got the show AEW Dark. Now what it is it's going to be the dark matches that were taped while they did the tapings of AEW Dynamite. They will be re-aired on the YouTube channel on Tuesdays, starting this coming Tuesday. I'm not sure which matches. I didn't look yet on which matches are going to be released for this Tuesday. I believe Dustin Rhodes had a match. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus were a part of a match, I believe, with Private Party and some 8-man tag, I believe. I like this move. Obviously, you got to find ways to get people exposed to the audience. And the dark matches on the YouTube channel, those are your diehard active followers with AEW. So as long as you keep them invested, AEW should be able to grow that active audience and just grow, and it will diversify into the casual audience. And that 1.4 million that we got in the first week might be the norm and not just, holy crap, this was the first week and we'll see how it goes. I totally like this. And here's the other thing that might be an issue with AEW Dark. We see shows that WWE pulls out like Main Event, and in the times before, Sunday Night Heat, Velocity. There were shows that, yes, they aired stuff, but they never forward storylines. They didn't really matter at all to title pictures. They were just matches that they had. Like Main Event, I think Dana Brooke and Sarah Logan have been a part of a match 3, 4, 5 times in a row or something like that before Dana Brooke got hurt. And then they came back and they did the same match over again. Thank you, Robert Kemp, for letting me know. SCU versus Jurassic Express was one of them. And Darlene let me know Darby Allin versus Shima was another one. So those are going to be exciting matches to see. Darby Allin versus Shima, I don't know how that match really would work out. I mean, if anybody was in Washington, D.C. and saw that match, let us know in the live chat how that match was. Shima's a very good wrestler from what I've seen so far, especially his match with Kenny Omega at Fight for the Fallen was really good. And Darby Allin, of course, most people notice or saw him firsthand as his opponent for Fyter Fest against Cody Rhodes, where he basically made a name for himself, drawing that time limit draw. So this is, we're going to see a guy like Darby Allin who might not be on every week. Let's throw him on AEW Dark. Shima, same thing. Let's throw him on AEW Dark. And if people start liking him more and more there, then we'll see him on AEW Dynamite. And that's how you build a name. If the actives start liking him, they tell their friends who might be casuals. This is what AEW Dark is for. This is what AEW Dark is for. Let me know in the live chat as well if you guys like the idea of AEW Dark. So I like it. I'm excited for it. It gives me something else to watch throughout the week. Now, we have so much wrestling going on. We have so much wrestling going on throughout the week. Every single night of the week, there is something to watch as far as wrestling's concerned. Monday's got Raw. Tuesday, you have Impact. You have NWA. And you have AEW Dark. Wednesday, you have AEW Dynamite and NXT. Thursday, you have... I'm drawing a blank on Thursdays right now, but someone can help me out with Thursday, but Friday you have SmackDown. Saturday you have WoW Wrestling. Saturday you have New Japan Pro Wrestling. Sunday, I remember Thursday. Thursday was NXT UK. So NXT UK on Thursdays. And Sunday you have pay-per-views. And we have one tonight, Hell in a Cell. I'll go over my predictions in just a minute here. Ralph mentioned Tommaso Ciampa coming back. That's huge news as well. Tommaso Ciampa coming back. He's a huge, huge Tommaso Ciampa fan, so he's absolutely excited for that. That's what I like here. So again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications for the best conversations in AEW, WWE, NXT, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. And if you want a question answered, donate to us on the live chat. We will answer your question regardless if it's AEW or NXT, WWE, New Japan Pro Wrestling. And speaking of New Japan Pro Wrestling, some interesting news coming over the weekend. Voices of Wrestling had an interview, and part of that news story that came out for Voices of Wrestling, they are hinting that Minoru Suzuki and Harold May will be leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling after Wrestle Kingdom 14. Now, for those that don't know who Minoru Suzuki is, because you don't follow New Japan Pro Wrestling, Minoru Suzuki is probably the toughest wrestler, one of the stiffest wrestlers in the world right now. He is basically what Haku or Mang was back in the late 80s and early 90s and throughout the Attitude Era. He's that version for New Japan Pro Wrestling. And a lot of people who saw Jon Moxley in New Japan Pro Wrestling, this is the dream match that they want, is Jon Moxley versus Minoru Suzuki. And unless it happens at Wrestle Kingdom, the rumor is that's not happening anymore. So that's going to be a huge blow. But at the same time, he's 52 years old. So it's not like he's going to be a guy that's going to be the top of the promotion. And I guess he's frustrated with where he is in the promotion. So he wants to move on. And the rumor is that he will move and go to Pro Wrestling Noah, which is another promotion in Japan. Harold May, for those that don't know who Harold May is, he is the guy that basically, he's the president of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And without him, this whole Western movement and this Western expansion, the U.S. expansion, doesn't happen. So if he leaves, this is going to be very interesting how New Japan Pro Wrestling adapts to this change and who they're going to appoint as the new executors and lead New Japan Pro Wrestling. Because Harold May has done a terrific job with this Western expansion that, we have so many tours coming to the United States. We had the G1 Open, the G1 Open in Dallas this year. Fighting Spirit Unleashed just had 3 shows, one in Boston, one in New York, and one in Philadelphia. Of course, it was New Japan Pro Wrestling that sold out Madison Square Garden. I know Ring of Honor was also on the card, and their name was associated with the show. But let's be honest, folks. New Japan Pro Wrestling sold out that show. And at the time, when tickets went on sale, you thought you were going to get a match that could have been Omega Okada 5. You were seeing Hiroshi Tanahashi, Minoru Suzuki, Tetsuya Naito, Switchblade Jay White. These are guys that are considered the best at what they do. Ring of Honor, they have some good guys, but is Matt Taven a main eventer? Is Jay Lethal a main eventer? Maybe a little bit, depending on, who else is on the show and if you want to book them temporarily. But Ring of Honor's roster seriously took a hit when the Elite left. You had a top tag team, Cody Rhodes gone, the Young Bucks gone, Hangman Adam Page, who they might have booked as a top guy in Ring of Honor, gone. So, and the fact that, Ring of Honor and New Japan, I'll say New Japan Pro Wrestling has no women's division, but Ring of Honor, their women's division isn't that good compared to the likes of NXT or Impact Wrestling or even AEW. Yeah, Bullet Club was the draw, as Ralph is saying in the live chats. Bullet Club was the draw. But New Japan Pro Wrestling, outside of the Bullet Club, when you have Okada and Naito, that was the draw. And that's what Harold May has helped bring the Western expansion for. He used the Bullet Club to bring New Japan to the West, but it was Okada and Tanahashi and Naito that helped keep the Western fans invested in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And when you have guys like Switchblade Jay White, Jon Moxley involved, I mean, this is going to be a huge, huge blow if Harold May is actually leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling. So we'll see where that goes. We'll see where that goes. So right before I went on the air here, we have, and I'm checking my phone just to make sure I have all the matches here, that Hell in a Cell added like 6 matches to the card. And it looks like one of them is going on right now. Lacey Evans versus Natalya. There we go. Let's see. Screwing up my graphics here. Sorry about that, folks. That off so we can read what this is saying. There we go. Hell in a Cell prediction. So, yes, Lacey Evans versus Natalya. If I had to make a prediction here, I would go with Natalya. We have a tag team women's championship match where the Kabuki Warriors will be facing Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Kind of interesting to see that. Let's see. I mean, now all of a sudden the matches aren't even coming up. This is annoying. I apologize for the slight delay here. Hell in a Cell 2019. Let's see. So like I said, Natalya versus Lacey Evans is one of them that's getting added. We have Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks, Bayley versus Charlotte, Harper and Rowan versus Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. Here we go. Alexa Bliss versus the Kabuki Warriors. This one's interesting because why on earth, like, I like the Kabuki Warriors, but why are they just throwing this match together? The Kabuki Warriors, to me, should be the WWE Women Tag Team Champions. And if you're not going to use them, bring them back to NXT because the women's division right now can use someone, especially that Shayna Baszler has pretty much beaten everybody. So if the Kabuki Warriors are just there tonight to give a win to Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, just let them go to NXT. Let Asuka and Shayna Baszler have an amazing match. Or Kairi Sane. We already know those two can have a good match. Maybe Kairi Sane can win it back off of Shayna Baszler. But I'm hoping, I am praying the Kabuki Warriors are able to win the tag team championships and do something with these titles. Because ever since they came to fruition, we haven't done anything with them. I'm sorry. We have not done anything with them. Every time a women's tag team champion is in a match, they're getting pinned. Look at the Iconics. I don't even think they legitimately won a match when they had the tag team titles. And Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, they've had a couple of wins, but I'm not liking that at all. So hopefully Kabuki Warriors go with the win here. Again, folks, if you want to donate to the channel, help support this channel. We want to make improvements. We want to give you guys stuff that, we want to give you guys stuff that you want. We're looking at building a website that you guys can access, getting some merchandise that you guys would be interested in, and, updating the equipment. And we can't do that without the help of you guys. So if you donate to us on the live chat, feel free. Ask any question and we will answer it for you by donating the super chat and help support this channel. And more people could, watch the Squared Circle Psycho Babble for the best conversations in AEW, WWE, NXT, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. All right, another match that was just announced. King Corbin and Chad Gable. We've seen this one how many times now since the King of the Ring finals? Laziness. Ladies and gentlemen, laziness. But King Corbin needs a win here, especially after the way they made him look stupid on SmackDown Friday night. The King of the Ring looks absolutely ridiculous right now when you have The Rock pretty much saying the King of the Ring is nothing but a title. You are not really a king. And then you have Becky Lynch making you look like an idiot. You have The Rock making you look like an idiot. And it doesn't help that the crown that you're wearing makes you look like an idiot. So I like Baron Corbin. I think he is a great heel. I like Chad Gable too. They definitely did something with him great with this King of the Ring and got a lot of people were behind him and he was super over. So as much as, either way, I don't mind either one winning, but if I think anyone needs to win more, it is Baron Corbin. Next up, we have the Viking Raiders and a mystery partner going up against the OC. Now, who will be the mystery partner? Will it be Cedric Alexander? Will it be Ricochet? Will it be Edge? Yes, the rumor that Edge signed a deal and he's coming back. Hey, Edge, it wouldn't be so much of a reach because Edge did once play on a show called Vikings. Thank you, Darlene Mimbe. $5 donation. What do you think of Jericho's new faction in AEW? Ralph's going to say something different in the live chat, but I love the faction. The first episode, you're trying to build stars, right? A lot of these people don't know who Santana and Ortiz are. They don't know who Sammy Guevara is. Some might remember who Jake Hager or Jack Swagger is. So why not put those guys, if you're going to build them up as the top heels in whatever part of the card they're going to be in, and tie them up to Chris Jericho? Why not? That's an absolutely great move. I don't mind it. And I think also the fact that with Jericho's faction, it just builds more heat for him because when are you ever going to have a chance to beat Chris Jericho clean between now and Full Gear and even past Full Gear? Sammy Guevara, I think there's a lot of potential with him. I think personally he needs to build a little size, but if you attach him with Chris Jericho, you know what? We'll see on Wednesday when we have Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara against Hangman Page and Dustin Rhodes. We'll see how that goes. I don't mind that. Again, thank you, Darlene, for the question. And if, of course, you have a question for us, donate to the live chat here. Support us to improve our equipment, to improve our, we want to get some merchandise and a website going. And we can't do that without the support of you guys. And of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell for notifications for the best conversations in AEW, WWE, NXT, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. So let's go back to the predictions here. The Viking Raiders and a mystery partner versus the OC. And I was saying probably Ricochet or Cedric Alexander. We have the rumor of Edge signing some deal. And just before the question came in, I said, well, Edge was on that show, Vikings. But no, Edge isn't coming back. When you have the injury that Edge had, you're not coming back. You're not coming back. I'm sorry. You're just not coming back. So, whoever the mystery partner is, I hope the Viking Raiders win this. I think the Viking Raiders are the closest thing to the next tag team champions for whichever show they're going to end up on, whether it's Raw or SmackDown. So you can't have them lose. And WWE always does this where they want someone to be built strongly, but then when they want them to lose, they have to protect them. And I think we're going to have that later tonight, and I'll go over that later. They're going to do something to protect these guys. And this might happen with the Viking Raiders as well, where they, whoever the mystery partner is costs them the match, or he's there to eat the pin. So the Viking Raiders lose and they're protected. So I would like the Viking Raiders to win. I'll predict them to win with the mystery partner, but other than that, I can't say what else for that. I mean, the mystery partner I think is going to be either Ricochet or Cedric Alexander. My guess, Cedric Alexander, but that's very underwhelming. If they're going to promote a mystery partner, it better be someone worth promoting. Like, but then again, just because you advertise them doesn't mean they're actually going to show up, right? Stone Cold Steve Austin or Sting, where they were advertised for SmackDown Live and never showed up or were not part of the show. Yeah, I noticed that. Let me know in the live chat if you noticed that as well. Now for the matches that were actually announced before tonight. Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan versus Eric Rowan and Luke Harper in a tornado tag match. I didn't know it was a tornado tag match until now, but Eric Rowan, they're building up to be a top heel. I don't know necessarily a top heel, but at least a strong heel that people do not like and one that people feel that he could be a dominant force. I think the whole story is a little... I think the whole story is a little convoluted and kind of went nowhere. And at the same time, it was rushed. I hope this thing has a better conclusion to what we're seeing right now. But at least the silver lining is this story is leading us to the return of the Yes Movement. And we started getting the hint of that on Friday. So with that said, I'm going to say Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns do get the victory here, and Luke Harper will take the pin. Not sure who will pin him. I would think that Daniel Bryan will pin or submit Luke Harper, which sucks because Luke Harper just got back. But if they're trying to build Eric Rowan strong, I don't see him taking a pin in this regard. So let's move on to the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley versus Charlotte Flair, a rematch of Clash of Champions. So I'm going to go... I thought Charlotte should have won at Clash of Champions, especially when it was in Charlotte. And with the draft coming up, I think Fox wants Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch on those SmackDown rosters. So with that said, I'm going to go with Charlotte winning this one and Bayley being able to drop the title and move on to Raw. So I think it will be a decent match. Hopefully it has a clean finish here, unlike Clash of Champions. And hopefully it's a better match than what we got at Clash of Champions. But let's move on to the Raw Women's Championship match. Becky Lynch against Sasha Banks in Hell in a Cell. I thought this match definitely should have been in Hell in a Cell because of what we saw at Clash of Champions, where they went to the outside. Becky Lynch was, attacking all through the building and, leading to the chair shots, disqualifications and whatnot. So this one definitely meant to have a payoff. Definitely needed a payoff. So, I think this match is going to be great. Maybe the match of the night. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being the main event either. But for the reasons that I just said, that Fox wants Becky and Charlotte Flair on that SmackDown roster, Becky needs to drop the Raw Women's title. So with that said, Becky Lynch is going to drop the title to Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks could keep the Raw Women's Championship on Raw. Her and Bayley can be on Raw. Maybe even go back as a tag team where we could see them as the women tag team champions again. Who knows? Are we at the main event? Did I get all the matches beforehand before I go to the main event? Unless there's a match that wasn't announced yet with Shinsuke Nakamura, which I did not see. Yeah. So yeah, we are going to the main event, folks. And I see the question coming up a couple times here on the live chat. Will Seth Rollins retain? Will Bray Wyatt win? Folks, it's this simple, folks. This simple. Bray Wyatt, if there's going to be a decision in this match, Bray Wyatt has to win. He has to win. You do not build the Fiend up the way you are and the Firefly Funhouse being as over as it is and selling all the merchandise that you are for him to lose his first championship match. You drop the ball with guys like Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles at one point and drop the ball on Braun Strowman. Do not drop the ball on Bray Wyatt. He needs to win. Will he win, though, is the question. No, he will not win. In fact, what I think is going to happen is throughout the month that we've had this build of Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins, we have seen Bray Wyatt turn off the lights and magically appear and attack Seth Rollins from behind. But yet, we have yet to see Bray Wyatt turn the lights out and disappear. Yeah, they shut the lights and go to a commercial, but that's it. So with this being a Hell in a Cell match, and you would think he can't escape, Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, will turn the lights out when he's about to get curb stomped for maybe the 8,000th time. Lights go out. The little strobe lights go and the weird screeching noise goes on. Lights come back on. Bray Wyatt's missing. Copyright. Go to black. End of show. Bray Wyatt's been protected. Seth Rollins retains the Universal Champion. Everybody wins, right? Could totally see that happening, folks. Could totally see that happening. And if that happens, I could totally see a certain YouTuber and podcaster flipping an absolute gasket over a decision like this, basically dedicating his whole hour and a half to how stupid that finish is. And if you guys know who I'm talking about, you guys watch a lot of wrestling YouTube channels, and he's definitely the top of many people's YouTube channels. So with that said, I mean, that is all the predictions that I have. We went over the big news with Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar, AEW Dark, Minoru Suzuki and Harold May, and of course, our predictions here for Hell in a Cell. Ralph saying that, Ralph, who was joining us in the live chat tonight because we couldn't figure out the audio tonight with him because he's not exactly somewhere where internet connection's available, so we couldn't Skype him in. So here's the question. He says Braun Strowman gets involved here, and there is no winner. I say there's no winner. I don't think Braun's getting involved. I mean, I could be totally wrong. Ralph has a good point. Braun Strowman has been involved in this feud for a little bit, and the fact that Braun Strowman has his connection with Bray Wyatt in the past, so he could be pulling a Kane debut where he rips the door open, and Brock Lesnar did the same thing. Why do they do this with Hell in a Cell? Seriously, why do they do this with Hell in a Cell where they make the main event some kind of weird no finish? They did it with Brock Lesnar last year between Braun and Roman. They can't do that again this year where Braun does the same thing. I could totally see that happening though, but I think it's going to be more of the supernatural where Bray Wyatt just disappears. I know there were rumors that SmackDown wanted Bray Wyatt as well, but it seems like Fox wants everybody for SmackDown. Basically, if you have any kind of draw, any kind of credibility, any kind of merchandise sales or name recognition, Fox wants you. So basically, Raw's going to end up with no stars or basically an NXT 2 roster if Fox gets completely all its way. Who knows? But again, I'll stick around for another like 10 minutes. If you guys have questions, donate them in the live chat to help support the Squared Circle Psychobabble. We want to get more better equipment in here for better audio and video. We want to get a website up, get some merchandise for you so you guys can wear the shirts proudly. Hoodies. Ralph wants to get hoodies out there. So yeah, if you have a question, let us know and I'll answer them for you. I'm noticing in the live chat too, the YouTuber that I was talking about. I think you guys have the right idea of who it is. Darlene Minbay, yes. SmackDown is the A show now. It really is. It is the A show. You know you're gonna get Roman on there. We already have him on there. Brock is the WWE champion. There was a reason why Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt were on the show Friday, even though some people were like, well, why are they on the show, even though they're on Raw? That's the reason they're on. Let's see. What else is going on here in the live chat? Will the crowd treat Rollins as a face or heel tonight? That's interesting. I mean, he is the heel in the story, but the crowd loves the heels. They love to chant for heels now, ever since, excuse me, ever since the Attitude Era where it was okay to be the bad guy. That's basically everyone's reason for someone to get over. Oh, they got to turn heel. You know, basically the Rock formula. The Rock had to turn heel to get over. The Stone Cold Steve Austin had to turn heel to go over. That's not always the case. But I think it will be a very split crowd. I think we'll get a "Let's go Rollins," "Let's go Seth" type chant. Let's go Bray chant. CM Punk. No, Ralph, no CM Punk. We won't get, I swear there better not be a CM Punk chant. Swear to God. What else is going on in the chats? Yep. Nicola said it best. Sasha Banks wins, moves to SmackDown, said that. Yeah. So Ralph is saying Seth will be booed. I wouldn't be surprised. If Bray Wyatt loses tonight, if in fact they have him lose, I kind of want to see what happens the next night. Will network subscriptions go down? Will the will the ratings fall the following night on Raw? Will the following Friday on SmackDown ratings fall? Michael Munger, there's a question about Dish. I did see right before I went on the air, if you have Dish and you're worried about Fox, the Fox Sports app just allowed access through Dish, so you could watch Fox on that. So if there's still the disagreement and no new deal between Fox and Dish on there, you will be able to watch SmackDown through that. If not, digital antenna could be a good source to watch Fox if you can't through Dish Network, or if you don't want to get whatever cable provider there is. We'll see. But do you think Seth's bank balance comment destroys his rep? No, not really. I think his stuff with Will Ospreay was worse than what he said about Sasha Banks. It was trying to fill a storyline, but I think it just got caught in the wrong way. Similar to Kenny Omega saying that he would main event over NXT guys. Darlene, Ralph and Mike, who do you think takes the first round in the Bucks private party tag team match next week? As much as I don't want to admit it, and I hope it doesn't happen, I could totally see the Young Bucks winning the tag team championships. Now, granted, they are a great tag team and everybody loves them, but they can't be the first tag team champions. Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy have to be the first tag team champions. But if I had to pick, I will go with Private Party to lose to the Young Bucks here. That's my prediction. Again, if anybody has a question, let us know in the live chat. Donate to the show. We'll get to your question if you donate to help get us better equipment. for the video, for the audio, for the live streams. We want to get a website going and, of course, some merchandise for you. We have a couple prototypes. I'm sure you've seen my t-shirt that we've had in the past. So, yeah, very good. Robert Kent, Bucks need to win, but I hope they lose in the second round. Well, if they lose if they go in the second round, they get the winner of the Lucha Brothers and the Jurassic Express. If you look at the actual brackets, this puts me in another rabbit hole here to help with the last 10 minutes of this live broadcast here. The way they set up the brackets for the AEW Tag Team Championship titles, they literally set this up to make you believe that you're getting rematches for the semifinals. Because the Young Bucks are facing Private Party, the Lucha Brothers are facing Jurassic Express, and the winners of those two matches face each other. And then the winner of Best Friends versus SCU will go on to face the Dark Order. How does that not scream rematches? Of course the Best Friends are going to win. Of course the Young Bucks are going to win. Of course the Lucha Brothers are going to win, right? Maybe Tony Khan is trolling us to think that way, and then we get some upsets, like Jurassic Express over the Lucha Brothers. Now, I heard something where the semifinals would have been Lucha Brothers are booked for another show, but I'm sure they could work something out so that the Lucha Brothers will be on the AEW show if they end up winning the tag team match against the Jurassic Express. Best Friends, I think, will win over SCU, and we'll get that rematch against the Dark Order where the Best Friends will able to beat the Dark Order, or the Best Friends will beat the Dark Order to go into the finals. And then it will probably be the Young Bucks versus I would think Jurassic Express. And then we get Best Friends versus the Young Bucks would be my prediction. So, yeah, I would say the Young Bucks versus the Best Friends. That would be my prediction for the finals. What I would like is the Jurassic Express to be the first AEW Tag Team Champions, and if not them, the Best Friends. Oh, okay. Adam is letting us know in the live chat that he used to build websites for internal government sites in the UK. So, all right. I know your Twitter handle, so I'll be hitting you up. Thanks, man. Definitely help. There was a question on here. Oh, Nicola asked about Riho winning the AEW Women's Championship. I got a lot of crap for this on the AEW review of Dynamite. I did that review by myself. And basically I said that Nyla Rose got buried for losing that match. And I got a lot of backlash for that. And understandably so. I understand the story that they were telling of David versus Goliath, and David gets the big win. She was super over. I understand that. But I think what people might have misinterpreted for me saying that Nyla was completely buried in this match was, if you build Nyla strong before this match, it would have just made Riho's win even better. But the fact that she went into that match 0-2 in singles competition, where Riho already beat her, and then in the other match, she wasn't even involved in a decision, it kind of makes her look weak, where she's supposed to be the big bad heel woman on the roster. So that's where I was going with that. But I guess, yeah, I'm seeing, yeah, Will freaking Ospreay gets it. Nyla's 0-3 now. First off, I don't even think she should have even been in the AEW Women's Championship match. I think they really should have set it up for Bea Priestley versus Britt Baker. But I understand why they used Riho. Riho, if not Britt Baker, probably is the most deserving on the women's roster to be the AEW Women's Champion. I have no problem with Riho winning. I have more of a problem with Nyla losing, because what do you do with her now? She basically has to go undefeated for like 6 months before you put her back in the picture again. And I got a lot of comments on that. So I hope I clarified that if you saw that episode. If not, check out the channel, subscribe to our channel for the best conversations in AEW, WWE, NXT, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Check out the AEW Dynamite review. I also reviewed NXT on that episode. And and someone's saying Nyla won the Battle Royal, so she's got one win. But if you look at the graphics, when they show the records, the Casino Battle Royales did not count into the records, at least as singles matches. So Nyla Rose is 1-0 in a Battle Royal, but she's 0-2 as a singles competitor. Hangman Page technically is 3-2 because he won the Casino Battle Royale, but they recognize his record as a singles competitor as 2-2. And his loss was not good either. Him losing to Pac was somewhat of a bad move. That's another one. That match, I think, should have been saved for Full Gear so that you could build more wins for Pac and you could build more wins for Hangman Page and maybe have a number one contender match at Full Gear where the winner faces either Cody Rhodes or Jericho at either an episode of Dynamite or whatever the next pay-per-view is going to be. But, so Hangman Page, same thing. I think his loss kind of hurt his momentum a little bit. And yeah, that's what we're going at here. So, but yeah, we are closing in on this live stream, guys. We are approaching the top of the hour. So Hell in a Cell will be starting up. So if you guys are going to be watching on the WWE Network, I hope you enjoy the show. It's going to be a very unpredictable show with all the matches just announced 2 hours ago. And we'll see what happens with Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins. And as the weeks progress, we'll see what happens with Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar. We'll see what happens with AEW Dark and those dark matches. I'm excited to see those matches. Yeah, I'm excited for the AEW Dark thing. I don't know if we're going to do shows dedicated to like reviewing AEW Dark, but if you guys show interest in it, maybe we will. Who knows? We're always looking for ways to add to the show and find more content and ideas for the show. And we can't do that without you guys and your subscriptions and your comments. So again, thank you all for the live chats. Thank you again to Darlene for the thank you again for the donation of $5 with your question. Thank you all for joining me here. And of course, if you're new to the channel, like us, like this video, share it all over social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at SCPB Podcast. For the best conversations in AEW, WWE, NXT, and New Japan Pro Wrestling, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. For my brother Ralph, who is in the live chat right now, answering your questions there. My name is Michael Valenti, saying so long from the Squared Circle Psychobabble.